I was in middle school when the 2016 election happened. At the time, politics felt distant, something adults worried about, not something that affected me directly. But after Trump won, I started noticing a shift in my school. It wasn't just about who was president, it was about the way people talked and the things they believed in and how they treated each other. And that's when I realized that politics wasn't just about government decisions. It shaped the way we all see the world, even as just kids. Before the election, people in my school, kids, teachers, even parents talked about the possibility of the first woman president. It felt like a true moment of change, like something historic was about to happen. But after Trump won, the conversations completely changed. Suddenly, people at my school started saying things like, a woman could never be president. It wasn't just one or two kids. It was like this widespread attitude shift. And what stood out to me was that these were the same kids who, just weeks before, had been excited about Hillary Clinton possibly winning. It was like the results of the election gave people permission to believe that women weren't capable of leadership. And as a girl, hearing this at such a young age made me realize how much leadership and power were still tied to gender. At the same time, I noticed another big change. My middle school had quite a bit of students from immigrant families, especially from Mexico. Before the election, they would talk openly about their families, about where their parents were from, about visiting relatives. But after Trump got elected, that changed. Some kids stopped talking about their families altogether. It was like there was this fear in the air, this sudden worry about who was listening, what could be used against them. Even if they were citizens, there was still this unspoken feelings that their families weren't as safe as they were before. And that really stuck with me. Looking back, I can see how all of this connects to Ray Lake et al. Talking about the political climate shapes young people's identities and sense of belonging. At the time, I didn't realize it, but we were all being affected by politics in real time. The election wasn't just about who was in charge. It was about the way the kids saw themselves, their families, their futures. The shift in how we talk about gender, leadership, and immigration wasn't random. It was a direct reflection of what was happening on a national level. When Trump won, it reinforced certain ideas about who deserved power, about who was safe, about who belonged. And those ideas don't just stay in Washington, D.C. They trickled down into my middle school, shaping the way we thought and acted even as 10, 11-year-olds. That was the moment I really became aware of politics. Not in the sense of policies or laws, but in the way it influenced how people see themselves and others. I realized that elections aren't just about adults voting. They shape our schools, our conversations, and even our sense of what's possible. Seeing that shift happen in real time, watching my classmates change the way they talked about gender and immigration, made me hyper aware of how powerful political messaging can be. And it made me realize that politics isn't just something that's happening out there. It's happening all around us, shaping the way we live, even as kids. And that's why, even now, I think about those moments, because the things we hear, the things we internalize as young people, they stick with us. And it's up to us to decide whether we let them define us or we push back and redefine what's possible for the future.